What is going on, guys? Freaking Monday. Here we go. Another week, another day. Freaking, and I'm not hungover, so it's a good day.
Yeah,
Good
took
start.
me a full 24 hours to recover from this weekend. So,
Ooh, buddy. So, when you're the first Bovine in generations, as far as we know, graduates college, and you decide to throw a barbecue party for all of the family, extended family, and friends. No matter how much you try and pace yourself, it's never enough.
no, I wasn't even smart about it either because I went out Friday night drinking with friends, came back to the farm by the time everybody got here around 10 o'clock at night, and we started up the fire pit. Had let that burn for 5 or 6 hours to make coals. We stayed. I didn't even get the food on until about 5:30 in the morning. Finally took a nap for like 2 hours, and then everything smoked for 10 to 14 hours. 40 some people here on the farm to a party, and we must have done at least 50 pounds of meat on
Oh,
that smoker.
if you haven't seen Keith or I's Facebook profile, go look at the image.
Yeah.
It's insane how much freaking food we have in that smoker.
There
And
was
it's all
so much on the pit that I actually had to start up my pellet grill to do the last part of it because I
to
couldn't
try and
get it
keep
on
up with
the
it.
pit.
Yeah. It was cool though. That's hands down the biggest portion of food we've ever cooked.
Oh yeah,
But,
yeah. Now I'm excited to actually expand that grill and make it even bigger because that's a ton of fun.
yeah. All right. So to give you guys an idea, the pit is right now probably 3.5 foot by 7 foot. And we didn't have enough space on it to cook. We're now taking it all the way out to the 4x8, so we can have enough room to fit it all. It's insane. It's all just done out of freaking cinder blocks and metal grates and stuff. But we got a bunch of upgrades planned for all of it.
But it's
Uh,
fun. It's fun experimenting. Like we experiment with like small little side dishes, like bacon wrapped onion rings and
yeah,
bacon wrapped onion stuffed meatballs, and just think of something I find on YouTube, and then yeah, we're gonna try that.
there you go. There's
Oh,
a
there it
shot.
is.
Yeah.
That is for 40. And that's not even all the food we put on there. Like you said, he
Oh
had a whole
gosh,
other
no.
grill going, and we
Yeah,
came out and brought more stuff on here. This is before
yeah.
everything got wrapped up.
The beef ribs on there turned out amazing. The
Yeah.
pork shoulders end up, or the what went for actually ended up 14 to 15 hours before they were ready.
Oh, but the pork loins were good too.
Oh
So,
gosh, amazing.
uh, but it was a good time. And then we proceeded to see if we could drink all the alcohol in Hazel. I'm not sure if we left some for anybody, but we damn
Well,
sure tried to consume
we
it
we
all.
had it all. I'm not sure. There might be a couple drinks left in a few bottles. So
But you had, I don't know, 15 18 to 25-year-old kids that were all there because of Jillian's in the pools, and then all of us older adults trying to act like kids in the pool. It was, and I mean, it was above ground pool. I was waiting for a kayak moment where like they cut the side and they ride the kayak out the damn thing. Uh, that's about where we were at with it. So,
so yeah,
but
I think it ended up.
I woke up in my RV on Sunday morning, so it just happened to be on their farm, not mine.
I think I ended
So,
up 49 straight hours being awake.
Wow.
Um, so yeah, interesting.
so it was a good time. It was a good time. Anything happening exciting in y'all's world? I know Bernie, you're getting ready to pop one out.
Yeah, getting ready for the baby. Doing a lot of time in the nursery, getting everything set up. Where I would say we're roughly about 80%. Got a few,
Do you just gonna have like dangling mustaches for with that little thing that dangles above the ring?
I'm already planning to get one from the pizza box so that we can take a picture as soon as she's born. I'll put it on.
Yes,
Thank you for that, by the way,
yes,
Keith.
Yeah,
yeah, absolutely. That was my favorite thing.
highly disappointed if you don't pull that off. So,
That should be the
Kevin,
baby. That should be the baby announcement.
right?
Clearly, it's mine, right?
Just put, I promise it's a girl with the big old mustache on her. So, good week, good times. All right, let's kick this off. So I'm having fun. I tried to make a whole bunch more transitions for this so we can have a lot of more fun in the different segments. So
Hey, you actually spelled it right too. So
I know.
not bad.
Don't ask me to do the Force podcast review because that one's still all jacked up because I haven't fixed it yet. Hey, it's not all perfect, but we're having some fun. Oh wait, there's Mr. Morris saying howdy and hello. There's Eric Ebner coming in. That thing is a thing of beauty, talking about the freaking barbecue and such. So,
I thought he was talking about
me.
the mustache. Oh yeah, he's not talking about Keith.
It
That's
could have
not
gone either way.
Right. Hey, I mean, Eric, if you think I'm cute, I'm okay with that. I mean, I totally get it. I get to look at this every day in the mirror. So,
What a terrible life.
so I was going to talk about focusing on the 5% today, but I wanted to kick it around a little bit after I read a couple of posts on LinkedIn, and I wanted to talk more about ROI and networking in general, because I think people are really screwing it up and not looking at not only are they getting an ROI on their investment in time and energy, but what is it they should be tracking? Because everybody thinks about ROI, and the first thing that pops ahead, right, is revenue, right? It's all dollars, dollars, dollars. And don't get me wrong, dollars is a huge thing to track, but there's a bunch of different things that you should be looking at in all your networking activities. And by far, the biggest thing you should be looking at is where are you actually investing your time to make sure you're getting the ROI. So there's a couple of big things that I always want to look at when I'm looking at networking. The first one being direct close business, right? From the activity. Did I go to an event, happy hour, after hours? Should I go to a group meeting? How much from that activity has led to direct close business, new business coming into the company that we wouldn't have otherwise gotten? And I think oftentimes people don't go back and track the origin of their clients, like where they found them. What's the first step in the process that you got that first touch with somebody? And I think people would be really surprised if they actually went back and just listed out all their clientele and said, where did they come from? I think you'd be actually, Paul is just going to keep typing leads, and we're just going to keep tagging it in there.
We get it, Paul.
Good. Well, we're tracking leads, damn it. But go back and literally just list out all your clientele and say, where was my first touch? Where did I first meet this person? How did I get in contact with those people? And you'll be amazed that it will tell one hell of a story. And oftentimes, if people are doing a ton of networking, they're going to realize quickly that a lot of the networking they're doing is actually not effective for them because it leads to nothing. The next thing that I'll look for as an ROI is actually cost savings. Is this getting me into cool partnerships? Is this getting me into cool agreements and collaborations? Because of networking, am I able to save money on different software programs and once again, we have leads and revenue profit per employee. But yeah, is it actually giving you any sort of cost savings, like on programs and the likes? I mean, I've been in situations where because of my network, I was able to get memberships at a discounted rate, or I was able to get technology or software at a discounted rate. There's a lot of places you can go collaborate with people, and just because you know somebody or they have a coupon code or whatever, you can get software and technology free, or for a less cost effective. That's what I was trying to say, is what he said. Well, quit hitting enter after the first word, Paul. So, the next one is that I look at from an ROI is access to opportunities. Is this getting me speaking engagements? Is this getting me, into different rooms? Is this getting me into meeting different people? Is it actually opening doors? I was reading a post from Richard Vonderbloom on LinkedIn. By the chance, if you're not following Richard on LinkedIn, you're really missing out on a ton of amazing stuff on LinkedIn. But one of the things that he tracks is actually number of comments on his post, which I thought was an interesting thing, because most people would say that's a vanity metrics. But he pointed out that in the algorithm of LinkedIn, that's his whole company does nothing but study that algorithm, that comments is one of the driving forces behind your post getting further and further and further. You like 10x the amount of attention on your post by simply responding to every comment. And they're looking for, more than 5-word comments. So it's crazy things like that. And then the next one that I'll look at is membership growth. So to my community or wherever I'm collecting all my people, is my membership growing? So I think everybody should be a community builder at heart, and should be bringing their people together that they're into. So is that contributing and growing your community by being a part of these different things. I think a lot of people are out there socializing, and because it feels like they're meeting new people, it often's like, ooh, I network. But if you really dial into the numbers of what are they getting in return off that time, they're really socializing. What do you guys think on ROI? How are you guys looking at it? How are you guys tracking your companies?
I always look at, I kind of track things backwards. Like I figure out my entire goal is to figure out how can I get enough qualified people on my camera every single week that I could actually have a sales conversation. That's really all I care about, because I know that I can close people. And like Paul said, he's looking for those leads. Everyone's looking for leads, but I'm looking for qualified leads, right? How do you get the qualified people? And it took me close to a year to figure out how to do it effectively. And what I realized, what I ended up doing in the end, was disqualifying a shitload of people.
Yeah.
Right. And people forget about the disqualifying part. If I can disqualify 90% of the shit that's not going to turn into business, then I can focus on that 10% that actually could have the potential to turn into business.
Jack just asked about retention, and I like retention. I think if you're not keeping your clientele, then you're going to have too much churn, and it's too hard to manage. I'd like to know what more of you're asking about on that on retention, Jack, just so I make sure we can answer it right. But I think there's more time spent in client acquisition than retention, and I think that's backwards. I think you should focus more on keeping what you got, and then a portion of your time on going and getting new.
Well, yeah, and I think it depends on the field that you're in as well. Like for me, once I land a customer, I'm on board. That customer's onboarded for the life of my company. We have a 99.5% retention rate, just because of the speed on software. Chad King and I had this conversation not too long ago. Same with him, right? Someone writes a software package, they're more than likely going to stay with that software package for 20 plus years, simply because of the costs involved and the ease of use once you're in and everything else. And so I'm not as focused on retention because it's just part of our company, but there's a lot of companies that need to focus on that customer service. And they forget. They're like going out and trying to find new customers, and they forget about all the customers they already have on the books.
Yeah, and I would be worried that would be interested in how many people spend too much time on retention and never go get new business.
Yeah. There's definitely a balance, right? No matter what.
Oh, and I think, you got to look at an overall time cost analysis. So this is the reason I do so many things virtual, because, we're out here in the boonies where we live. If I got to drive into town, I lose so much time in the day. So I've got to be very choosy about where I'm going to spend that time and energy, and it's got to be a return. And I think about the happy hour I went to last week, and I went, okay, I can't put any revenue dollars to that time, but the knowledge gain and the amount of clout my post got the next day on LinkedIn made it all worth the while, because I was able to teach a couple of tricks that I frankly have forgotten about because I didn't do as many networking, like doing fake phone calls and the like. So sometimes you got to look at,
I think it was a fake phone call that hit home for everybody.
Why couldn't you use a fake phone call in Atlanta?
Oh, no. I had you there to dump and run. So it worked really, really well. And if you don't know what a dump and run, if you're ever at a networking event and you got the dude that won't shut up, freaking have a wingman and just call him over and go, hey, here's you, here's you, and walk the fuck away. It works brilliantly well. But it works even better if the person you dump and run on understands they're allowed to come back and dump and run on you. I think Kevin just avoided me for the rest of the day. He's like, I'm going to sit as far away from Donnie as I possibly can.
If Donnie calls me over, ignore.
Yeah. I swear I'm hearing my name. Is anyone else hearing that?
But you need to look at all your costs and what it takes to actually network. So think about, not only is your time, but maybe your gas and things to get over there. It may be the technology you're using once you're there. It may be, fees and dues and all the things. You need to look at how much time am I investing? What's that value versus what is it costing me? Is there actually a return? And sometimes those returns aren't tangible, but if you really look hard at direct close business, cost savings from partnerships and agreements, brand awareness, is it increasing your traffic to your website, your social profiles? Is it opening opportunity, or is it growing your network? If you really look at those 5 main key points, you're really going to start seeing a better idea of where and how you should be spending your time. Which, I think a lot of people are spending time in places they shouldn't be spending time, but they're too scared to stop doing the things because they've made friends or whatever else, and they forget that they're supposed to be building a business, not just a freaking job for themselves. So it's pretty crazy. It's pretty huge. And also not always easy to track and get things figured out.
Well, it's always funny, right? Someone lands a customer. There's a big customer, means a lot financially to their company. And I forget, they're so caught up in that moment that they should go back and then track, how did they land that customer? Walk backwards and figure out, where did they first meet that customer? How'd that conversation go? What steps did they take in the process? And then go back and try and duplicate that entire process, right? But people are so caught up in, hey, I finally got this new customer and I got them set up and everything else. Then they just go forward and doing all these same things at probably the 90% miss rate, instead of going back and hitting on, how did they close that customer? Who are they working for? And then the last question I always tell them when they land that big customer and they've got everything going is, who does that customer know? Yeah. Right? Did you ask that question? Right? Hey, you guys trusted me to come on and use my services or my goods or whatever it might be. And they've probably been in that industry for a long time. Who do you know that might also benefit from what I do? Just one last simple question might land you another 1 or 2 accounts.
Absolutely. So good stuff. I love it, love it, love it. Let's kick this thing over. So we're going to introduce a new segment. We're going to talk about our top 3 restaurant experiences.
So I'm confused because that is not what the transition
I didn't have a transition for a restaurant. So you got weekly rants. I was trying to go through.
You couldn't have like the Iron Chef coming on and doing
something wait, cool. Hold on. I forgot a segment. Watch this. Keith, you're supposed to be doing a pitch slap. I totally skipped over you.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about the pitch slap. Oh, this is actually. I haven't had it.
You haven't?
This is. Oh God, yeah. This is so funny.
Bernie, are you sorry that you joined on into this chaos yet, or?
No, not at all. It's thoroughly entertaining every morning.
That's the goal. To be thoroughly entertaining.
Tweedledee and Tweedledum, and I'm not sure which one is which.
Yeah, I think you might be both.
I'm just sitting here minding my own business.
All right. So here's the pitch slap from last week. This is fantastic. I'm not going to say the guy's name, even though it looks like he's about 97 years old. I'm sure he's not listening to this show. I get an email, and it's actually a pretty cool email. And all it said is, Keith, I noticed we have some connections in common and that you're in the medical industry. Would love to connect. I'm like, okay, haven't been in the medical industry for about 3-4 years, but I like that it's a personal message. And I'm like, I said back, I'm happy to connect. 30 minutes later, hi, Keith, thanks for connecting. Are you having to wait months to receive payments from doctors, offices, hospitals, nursing homes, or other healthcare providers? And it went on and on and on about how he can help me with my receivables. And I'm like, I don't know how it went from me being in medical, never in any of those areas, to wanting to recoup money and credit challenges and things like that. So I responded to him about an hour later, and I said, oh boy, thanks for the pitch slap. I needed a good laugh today. That was absolutely fabulous. So I figured that once you respond like that, things go away. Nope. 3 hours later, Keith, do you have clients who don't qualify for equipment financing? Our business line of credit program has no FICO or collateral requirements. Only 12 months in business is required. And it just keeps going on. It's like 3 paragraphs. After that, after I told him I didn't want to be pitch slapped, obviously, it continues. So I'm sure it's his AI, it's automation, or whatever.
Dude, you should see how far you can take the fucking thing. Like, just keep replying to random things and see how long and how far it goes.
That's a great idea.
There's some sort of algorithm.
Random stupid, so that it replies, he'll just hit me with, okay, I'm going to do that. And I'll update you guys next week is what happens.
Because I'm betting that there's some sort of like ranking. This guy's replying to everything. He's a hot prospect, type of thing.
Jack Murphy just said it right. By talking, you answered my question. Yes. So it was just, it caught me off guard. I'm like, and you tell someone, hey, thanks for the pitch slap. You made my day. I'm laughing out loud. Ha, ha, ha. Right. And then they come back with a secondary pitch, completely different from the first pitch. It was like, I like the move, man. It's perfect.
That's awesome.
If the first pitch didn't work, pitch him again.
All right. Well, now it's time. It's not weekly rants, but we're going to talk about the top 3 restaurants experiences we've had worldwide.
Kevin, can you please help him out with some transition slides?
Oh,
Kevin,
you're muted somehow. Oh, too funny. So let's do it. What is the top restaurant experiences you have? I'm gonna save Keith for last because I'm betting he's got some of the craziest ones.
If you guys are listening at home and stuff, I would grab a piece of paper and pen and write these down in case you visit these cities, because I have no idea what they're gonna say, but I gotta imagine there's some pretty cool places that we've all been to. So
for sure. Kevin, you want to start it off?
Sure. So my number 3 is it's one that you're all probably going to be a little surprised at. I haven't been there for years. I was in LA
McDonald's?
No, gross.
Oh, all right.
Last time I ate that, I was sicker than a dog for a day. Yuck. So I was in LA for a conference. Oh, this is right like 10 years ago. And one of the other people invited me and one of my coworkers out for dinner the evening before everything got rolling. And she took us to a crepe restaurant. And I was not expecting, I'm like, oh, gross, crepes. This isn't going to be good. Freaking amazing. They had like, it was literally all just crepes. That was all you could get. But they had the savory type, so they had like ones you get out for your meal, and then they had dessert ones. And I'm like, this is fucking good. I didn't say those words because I was back in my, corporate days where I had to actually like kind of be presentable. But it shocked me. It was really awesome.
You think about crepes, you always think about the sweet stuff, like
exactly. I was like
stuff like that. People forget they do these savory crepes, and oh my god,
they had ones with the mushrooms and cheese and ham and all kinds of stuff. I'm like, this is really freaking good. So that's my number 3. I went and tried to find the name, but I don't know if it's that particular one is even still around. But I was in Long Beach, so it would have been kind of in that area of LA. There was some there, but they looked a little further away. So that's my number 3. My number 2 is a Texas restaurant, Dane's Barbecue. So
where's that at?
Fort Worth.
Used to be a food truck, and now it's got its own permanent location.
Yeah, and I think they recently moved again, and they're actually getting their liquor license. So. But yeah, so Donnie took me to that last time I was in Fort Worth. Was it the last time I was in Fort Worth?
Sure.
But it was really good. It was a Chad King recommendation. And we went, it was still the food truck.
Mr. Fort Worth Barbecue.
Exactly. That was at the, when it was still in the food truck, but it was amazing. And it's good when you're standing in line and they keep coming out and taking things off the menu because they're selling out of the stuff.
Yeah.
And we were there probably still in the morning. It was probably like 11:30 already. So it wasn't like it was late in the day for them, but they kept taking stuff off. Oh, we're out of the corn. We're out of this. We're out of that. And then the portions they brought out were amazingly huge. There were 4 of us at the table, and we didn't even get remotely close to finishing all of it. I think Donnie and Elizabeth were probably eating barbecue the rest of the week.
No, we didn't even take any home.
You didn't? I thought you did.
There wasn't a way to store it anywhere, get it home fast.
Oh, yeah, because we were doing the stockyards that afternoon. That's right.
All right, what's number 1?
And my number 1 is in Croatia. So
it's an easy flight this afternoon if anybody wants to get over there.
Yeah, exactly. But I would totally recommend it. That is, I would live there in a heartbeat. I would have no issue moving there. I actually applied for a military position there, and they're like, "Yeah, no, you're not married. You can't have that slot." I'm like, "Well, that's dumb." So, but there's a story behind why they made that rule. But I was there for a training exercise, and we found this restaurant, and I cannot pronounce it, so I'm not even going to try. But it's their grilled meat in Croatia is amazing. We were in Zagreb, the capital, but literally it was you just get a platter of meat, and it has like 10 or 15 types of grilled meat on it. Beef, pork, chicken, it's a whole mix. And they bring it out and they bring some sides, but really the meal is about all the meat. And it's, you know, and it was really good. So yeah, that's my number one. I went back a couple years later and we did some map recon and found it again, and took the new crew with us, and they had the same experience.
Nice.
So those are my top three.
Barney?
Nice. Well, I'm going to talk about a couple of experiences, not so much places, unfortunately, you guys can visit anymore. The first one, when I was in college at Northwood University in Michigan, we had this tiny little Chinese restaurant that every Monday they would do a buffet, and they always had crab legs at the buffet. Me and my roommates would always go to the buffet, and we would eat every ounce of crab that they had there. We did it 4 weeks in a row, and finally, the little Chinese lady came out. No more crab. You have something else. It's amazing. I love that. Love crab still to this day. My ex-wife is from Malaysia. We went to go visit her parents there, and I don't remember if we had dinner it was in Malaysia or in Thailand, but we went up to this little restaurant where you were actually able to go up and pick your own food, and it was still alive. So I wanted frog legs. They had a giant tub of frogs. They said, you pick your frog. And I picked my frog. And next thing you know, 5 minutes later, it was on a plate. I mean, talk about farm to plate. It was fresh. Wow. It was amazing.
That's a huge bucket list item for me to be able to do something like that.
Really, really cool. And then, you know, actually, it's funny that Kevin, you mentioned the plates of food. One of the first times that I went to one of those gaucho steakhouses, I actually had a tear go down my face, because that's all they do is just bring giant skewers of meat all day long. I mean, you can't go wrong.
Well, just wait till it's my turn. We've got a little gaucho story to mix in there, but it has nothing. But it has nothing to do with a big amount of meat.
All right, well, I'll go with my three. Probably the funniest experience in the Boivin history is Simply Fondue. We all got freaking cheered out of the restaurant. Look, we're loud in general, but at Simply Fondue, we rolled in, all the boys, mom and dad, all of our wives, and we presented.
Did we drink that night? I can't remember.
All of it. And
what kind of question is that?
No, but literally, we raised such a ruckus that when we did finally get up to leave, people actually were steering.
Yeah, there's probably eight or nine tables that gave us a standing ovation on the way out
because we were leaving. So it was awesome. I've been over here trying to find number two, and I cannot find it. But there's a seafood shack in freaking Ireland that we ate at, and it was the only place that did. It was actually gluten-free. The whole place was, and this whole building was about 200 square feet. I mean, there was 2 little bitty tables in there, nothing to sit outside, one dude just making fish and chips all day, and hands down the best fish and chips I've ever had in my life. And the fact that they were gluten-free, which made my wife's day, was the first place that she could eat in Ireland and not worry about it. So that was cool. And then my number one place is a place actually in Baltimore. It's called Thames Street Oyster House. And Thames Street Oyster House has done something that I'd never seen before in a menu. They actually bring you an oyster menu where you pick the oysters based on the frickin' water it was in. And wherever ocean or whatever it was in, completely changes the flavor of the oysters. It was amazing. And this is a reservation only, type place. I just happened to call, and we just happened to get lucky to get in because, if you don't try, you don't win. And it was, kind of a coat and tie experience. Neither Elizabeth and I had coat and tie, so we did the best we could to dress up in button down stuff, and they didn't skip a beat. You're kind of crammed into this, row house type, restaurant. God, it was insane. And like all the oysters come out in this very specific platter. We just ordered the sampler just to try it all. Come out in this different sampler, and you got to try it raw. You got to try it in like garlic butter and like this other olive oil thing. God, it was absolutely amazing. And then meat skewer places, Texas Day Brazil in Texas. If you've not been to Texas Day Brazil, Jesus, get ready to get fat.
Yeah.
Sweet. I know what we're doing when I'm there in September.
In Fort Worth alone, they got like 4 or 5 of those, gaucho type places. So
yeah, I love the Brazilian steakhouses. We have a few here that are amazing.
So we did this weekend. I found some picanha steak, and we did it on the grill back there. And oh my God, it's turned out so amazing.
That was the chef's treat. Nobody else got those.
Yeah, nobody else got it. If you were by the chef pit back there, then you got to sample some good stuff. So, but yeah, that's awesome. Did you do all three? Did you do all three?
Yep.
Yeah. All right, guys, I'm going to take you to my first place. Now, listen, I got 100 places I could have put on this list, but I was trying to think about the three that come to mind for me the most. The very first place is in Orlando, Florida, and I've literally spent hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people to this place. No one's ever been disappointed. It's my kids' favorite place to go eat anytime they're in town there, and it's called Cafe 22 Tango. It's on International Drive, not far from Universal Studios. And it is a tapas restaurant. I did not say topless, Donnie. I said tapas. So it's all small plates. They have 3 different kitchens. So when you order stuff, you never know which kitchen it's coming out of. So it all comes out in different orders. It's like 36 different small plates, appetizers. And it is a starving artist community. So there's always 3 artists inside working at all times. And anything that they're doing and anything that's on the walls there is for sale. So it's a great atmosphere. It's loud. The bar is probably one of the best bars I've ever been to as far as mixology goes. It's just a one hell of an experience. So when friends always say, hey, we're going to Disney, we're going to Universal for a week, and they want suggestions for outside the parks to eat, that is the #1 place that you go try.
Keith thought it was topless the first time he went, and he went with his shirt off, and they made him leave.
Why do you got to tell my private stories?
Dude, I had the first tapas restaurant in Baltimore, and I didn't know how to really order because they didn't explain it with it. They just kind of sat you down and hand you the menu, and you're like, what? You look around, everybody's got all these small plates everywhere.
Yep.
And I finally grabbed a waitress and said, what the fuck do I do here?
Like, not really a place you want to go to by yourself, right? You got to take, the larger the group, the better. You just sample everything. So my #2 place, I just went 2 weeks ago for the very first time. Talk about the gaucho experience. It's like those Brazilian steakhouses. It's called DeLuca Pizzeria in Southlake, Texas. And it's like that, but it's with pizza. So they must make 26 to 30 different kind of specialty pizzas, and they bring them around to your tables. And if you want a slice of that pizza, you grab a slice of that pizza. So it's done in the gaucho style and everything else, but the pizzas change all the times. When you go back the next time, it's not going to be the same. So we're going there again, I think next Friday. A large group of us to try it out one more time. So that place is amazing. If you're over in Southlake, then you got to try that. And then the last place, actually, it's been about 23 years since I've been there. But in the Bellagio, inside in Las Vegas, is a place called Picasso. And it is a James Beard Award winner. It's a AAA 5-diamond restaurant, 3 Michelin stars. Everything that's there, it's like a 6-course French meal. And when they brought the first course out to us, I thought, there's no way I'm paying $180 per person for that little thing in front of us, right? And you get these 6 courses, and by the time you're done, you are so stuffed, and it's so flavorful. But the coolest part about it is the environment, right? Everything that's in that restaurant are real Picassos, whether they're paintings or they're the sculptures and things like that. Everything, of course, is encased in bulletproof glass. But you can walk around the restaurant and actually look at real Picassos on display. It is amazing. If you go on their website right now, they've actually got a food competition coming up with 2 Michelin-trained Michelin star chefs to do something. The tickets are already sold out for it, of course. It's later this fall. But it is an unbelievable menu, and it's obviously reservation only, suit and tie, very formal. So, but it was a cool experience, that's for sure.
Yeah, Vegas is really up their food game.
Vegas
man, it depends.
Yeah, Vegas is one of those places. If you want to go find a celebrity chef, every celebrity chef who's anybody has a restaurant in Vegas. But I would say this: I've been to probably 30 of them, and most of them are okay, but some are just like traditional fast food crap.
Yeah, the celebrity chefs are, they're churning out a product, but there are a ton of really good local places as well that you can go to there that they never really used to have. It used to be you never left the strip when you'd go, but now there's a lot of places you can go to that are local, that are doing really cool things with food. And you're starting to see it more on the shows that are highlighting that type of food.
I would say getting off the strip is huge in Vegas. We had a couple of cool experiences.
Connie said we got to stop. We're making her hungry and fatter.
All right, let's kick it along. Dun, 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 two. Cool. App of the week. So,
If no one else has one, I'm going to go because this morning you may notice I've been a little bit distracted because our website's been undergoing a brute force attack.
oh,
Yeah, my email's just been going off every second with so and so has been locked out. So and so has been locked out. We've had about 75 different attempts to log into our website. So my app of the week is WordFence. our security app for our website. It literally is. I'm just watching it and making sure nothing happens, and they're taking care of the whole thing. So a lot. So I'm going to throw it out there because a lot of people will do, especially small businesses, will do their own website and they won't really pay attention to the security piece. They'll do the default security app that comes with the website, and they won't go anywhere past that. But WordFence is really awesome because it will do a couple things. It tracks your logins, which is awesome. With that, make sure you please do not have an admin as a username. Do not use your domain name as a username. Actually use actual people's information. That makes it easier. But then also I'm going in and now I'm going to make it set up a alternate login URL. So there's default logins for WordPress. We're getting rid of those because I don't need 100 emails coming in the morning as our brand gets bigger. So WordFence comes with it has the firewall, and you can set up rules for where you can access. I'm going to be turning off any access from Vietnam and a bunch of those countries this morning as well, so I don't even have to worry about them accessing our sites until we're active there. So you can really customize your security for your website and not just get stuck with the default out-of-the-box system that normally will come with a WordPress installation. So that's our app of the week.
No, I've got another one. So Facebook came out with Facebook Lite for it's an app on your phone. So I don't know about y'all, but Facebook for me, and I only use Facebook really for business, but it's gotten really, really heavy with the technology and the different things. And so my Facebook wasn't actually functioning very well on my Android. So Facebook came out with a Facebook Lite, and it's almost like what you see third world countries. The best web application firewall for your WordPress. Oh, you must be talking to you, Eric or Kevin. But the Facebook Lite literally just takes out all the extra stuff of Facebook and gives you your feed and quick access to your pages. I actually removed the regular Facebook off my main desktop for my Android and put the Facebook Lite there because it's so much easier and faster to navigate.
Interesting.
I clicked the link that took me to Facebook and it opened it in this really weird UI. I'm like, where's all my stuff? So it must have opened it in Facebook Lite and I didn't like it.
Oh, okay. So
I was like, where? I was like, what is all this? I didn't know they had a new thing coming out either. So
yeah, I didn't until this weekend. I was messing around with stuff and was trying to find ways to make Facebook faster so I can navigate. Because a lot of times my Facebook just gets hung up because I get enough notifications and the like. So I'm like, there's got to be a better way. Than Facebook Lite came out, and somehow it popped up, and I instantly downloaded it. So it's been pretty cool. So. Outside of that, TikTok downloaders saved my ass a lot. So I do a lot of TikTok videos, but if you post a video with a TikTok watermark on there, it gets knocked down on other platforms. But TikTok downloader, you can go record natively on TikTok and then take the URL over to TikTok downloader, and then it will download without the watermarks. You can upload it to like Instagram or YouTube and the like. So that one saved me a lot of time. Versus trying to record once on the camera and then upload it, because TikTok seems to get better engagement when you're actually recording it on the app than uploading on the app. So been doing and spending a lot of time there. Any other apps from you guys? All right, this next session should be funny. All right, we're talking through. You want to introduce this one, Keith?
So
Yeah.
no, this is what we were talking about this last week. We just thought it'd be really, really super funny if you were to take two movie titles and smash them together and come up with one new plot. What would that look like? And we were kind of talking through it a few times and everything else. It's just some funny fun. I said, all right, we got to do this live Monday morning and see what everybody came up with and everything else. So I played around and came up with a couple of them, but finally I found one that hit home, and I'm like, okay, all right, I got
it. Oh, go ahead.
all right, I'm gonna go first. So mine is the Jurassic Park Lion King, and the movie is about a group of dinosaurs who live in the African savannah and befriend a young lion cub named Simba. Together, they must protect their home from poachers who want to capture the dinosaurs and sell them on the black market.
Wow. I did 4, and I'm going to position this a little bit different. I'm going to read my description I came up with, because I actually spent some time trying to figure this out. I'm going to read the description I came up. You guys got to figure out what the fucking mashup is.
Oh, my God.
So,
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
The first one, a rapper visits death row and is given superpowers by an inmate grabbing his crotch. Now when he raps, his words get better as long as he grabs his own crotch. Figure out the matchup.
The Eminem
One of them's
Mile.
Green Mile. Yep.
So it's the Green 8 Mile.
Green 8 Mile. Okay, all right. Yeah. I couldn't figure out how you're going to match those together, but that's definitely the Green 8 Mile.
Next one. While trying to feed his ever-growing horde of minions, a supervillain befriends a young inventor and devise a plan to make food out of water. Catastrophe strikes when food falls from the sky, enraging the minions who terrorize the city.
So it's Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs mashed up with Gru. I don't know the name of the movie.
Minions.
Minions, yeah.
Despicably Cloudy.
Despicable Me. That's the name of the movie I was trying to think of. Yeah.
Cloudy.
Despicably Cloudy.
This was great. Larry, a night security guard, discovers not only do the exhibits come to life, but they've also formed an underground fight league, and Teddy Roosevelt is the reigning champ.
It's Night at the Fight Club.
Yep, Night at the Fight Club Museum.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
I like this version. Where you have to guess. I was quiet because I'd actually read what you'd put in Asana. I'm like, oh, I know these already.
I was trying to hide them so you guys couldn't fucking find them.
Oh, I didn't see them in there at all.
Yeah.
I get notifications. So I'm like, Donnie added stuff to Asana. Awesome. The dude finds himself in a trippy version of Wonderland, encountering eccentric characters and searching for the perfect white Russian.
Oh, that is the
Big Lebowski.
The Big Lebowski and the Mad Hatter thing.
Alice in Wonderland.
Yep, the Big Lebowski in Wonderland.
Oh, man, that is so good. And you know what? I have the Big Lebowski as one of my mashups too. Oh man, awesome. I feel robbed. I feel robbed, but that's okay. So mine is the dude by day, the Bat Dude by night. The Big Lebowski fights crime while drinking White Russians in a Batman outfit, going around bowling balls.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Alfred played by Walter and Robin played by Donnie.
Perfect. Yeah, the other one I had was the Princess Bride Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
I was trying to do a Princess Bride one.
I know, because you have to do the Princess Bride one, because it's one of the greatest movies of all time. But match it up with One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. I'm like, oh, that'd be great.
So, a prostitute must track down aliens, and her main target lives in a penthouse. After years of fighting, the two fall in love, only to erase their minds in a sexual escapade. They accidentally hit the button on the neuralizer.
Men in Black and
Pretty Woman.
Yeah, Pretty Woman in Black. Hold on, I got another one.
Woody and Buzz lead a group of toys in a post-apocalyptic world where they must outwit zombie hordes and navigate a toy-filled wasteland.
So obviously it's Toy Story, but I don't know the next one.
Dawn of the Dead.
Oh, nice.
Dawn of the Dead.
During a musical reunion on a Greek island, a mass killer is on the loose. The only way to unmask the culprit is through catchy ABBA numbers.
Well, obviously, Mamma Mia.
It's Mamma Mia in Halloween.
No, and scream. It's Mamma Mia.
oh.
Here we scream again.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
Oh,
Hobbits, wizards, and elves battle the forces of evil through dance-offs and epic choreography.
wow.
Well, obviously it's Lord of the Rings plus or The Hobbit, and I don't know what the dancing one would be.
Lord of the Dance. So it'd be the Lord of the Dance Rings.
What are they doing?
Lord of the Dance Rings.
Wow.
Here's one just for Donnie. A group of skilled wizards plan to infiltrate the vaults of Gringotts Bank in a magical twist on a classic heist film.
Harry Potter and the Italian Job.
Close. Ocean's 11.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Ocean's 11 wizard heist.
So here's my question out to the audience. If you guys are listening to this, and you know, what else would you like to hear us kind of mash up? You know, maybe next week I'm thinking maybe we mash up two different genres of music. And if you put two songs together, maybe one from country and western, one from heavy metal, and you mash up those titles, what would that song look like? So if you guys can think of other things that we can mash up like this and have a little fun, let us know in the comments. That would be kind of funny.
Yeah, no kidding. That was fun to put together. Your Chat GPT was good, but I had more fun coming up and like, give me two titles that I can think, and then I was having more fun writing the old kind of sequence. How do we get there? So y'all can try and figure it out. That was a blast.
No, I like that style of doing it.
So, what do you guys got on your agenda for the week? What's coming up? What's awesome? What's coming down the pipes for you guys?
This week, I am going to be speaking at Digital Summit Minneapolis. Wednesday and Thursday, we're taking over the convention center downtown Minneapolis for 2 days of learning how to market your business more effectively. I speak Thursday afternoon, so we have that going on. So kind of excited.
Nice. What are
for
you
that.
speaking on?
How to utilize email automation to close more deals.
Nice.
Yeah, very cool. We've got a second production meeting this week. There's three of us here hosting a new show called Bourbon, Barbecue, and Business. We're going to be going live in the Fort Worth, Dallas area, doing live either craft beer, craft distilleries, or barbecue places, but bringing business owners together and talking about all the things that we love about bourbon and barbecue.
By production meeting, Keith means that he's going out to drink and eat.
Yeah. If you call it a production meeting, I could write it off as a tax expense.
That's right.
Ernie's trying to pop out a kid. We know that's coming up.
That's not even important, though. Come on.
So he's not actually the one trying to pop out a kid.
No.
Well, you don't know that. He might be squeezing the belly like a basketball. Like, come on, get out. They got 4 more days until she has to have the baby.
That's right.
But you might know. It might come a few days early. Might get surprised.
It's entirely possible. Yeah. The only day it can't come at this point is tomorrow, which means that it probably will come tomorrow because I have several projects that I have to work on and be someplace for.
Now that you said it, you just jinxed yourself.
I'm doomed.
You're screwed.
I'm doomed.
So
just call your wife like every 5 minutes and go, let's put your phone to the belly. Please wait 5 minutes. Please wait 5. Just wait.
Yeah, because all kids listen, right?
That's
right.
Yeah.
That baby's like that old Target commercial. Open.
Did you have your wife eat Doritos and see if the baby was?
I was just gonna say that Dorito. That was the best Dorito commercial ever.
That was a great commercial.
The Doritos time machine and the Doritos pregnant mom was absolutely hilarious that year.
I was at a friend's house watching the game. There was like 15, 20 of us there. All the guys just busted out laughing when that happened, and the girls are just like in shock. They're just like, "What just happened?" It was literally split down the room by sex on who thought it was funny and who was just appalled by it.
Hide the Dorito bags.
Yeah.
Oh, well, the dumbest branding move of all time was them trademarking the Super Bowl, so you couldn't say it anymore. They literally cut their own freaking arm off by limiting, because like. Even me saying it there, they could come at me for saying the word freaking Super Bowl.
Yeah.
On this, it's just dumb. I don't understand why any company would go to that length just for a revenue play.
Well, it's like this fine line that they're trying to walk. Yes, they want to protect the name so someone else can't have the Super Bowl. So I get that, but then the fact that you then have to protect it so no one can actually say it and use it to talk about your event is where it gets really messed up.
Now, the smartest thing the NFL did was creating that series called the Quarterback. That series, giving guys like me that don't sport more interested into the game, except for the one candy ass quarterback that was just a whiny titty baby. That
the interesting thing is I do a little bit of reading on some of this stuff about the quarterback. It was amazing, but now obviously with the success of that, they're talking about having one come out next year called the wide receiver, the running back, the kicker, the linebacker, and go through all the different roles, which I think is a great idea. But yeah, I mean, watching the number one rated NFL player in the entire league go through what he goes through in Patrick Mahomes is pretty amazing. Pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Will anyone actually watch The Kicker as a series?
I would, yeah. If you actually knew the life of the kicker and what they went through and everything else, right?
For the longest time, just to that point, the field goal kicker who had the record till it broke in the last couple of years, the dude had half a foot.
Yeah,
right.
Was it Patrick Dempsey or Dorsey or something like that?
Not Dempsey. That was the guy from fucking.
Can't Buy Me Love.
Yeah, and he also was in Grey's Anatomy and all those.
Yeah, I think it's like Patrick Dorsey or something, Jim Dorsey or something like that. He had half a foot.
Yeah,
half a foot.
Oh, I know what I do because Adam Vinatieri, I was in college with him and I knew him really well. So, and he's
it's funny. That's
prolific.
the only professional kicker I ever met in my entire life was Adam Vinatieri.
Adam?
Yeah. So the guy I worked with in medical sales was actually managed the mascots for the Indianapolis Colts and the Indiana Pacers. And he was a kicker from Butler. And he actually had Vinatieri come out and do some kicking drills and stuff. And he said, "Hey, you want to meet him?" I'm like, "Yeah, of course I do."
Oh,
so I went out to Butler College and got to meet Adam, and really, really a great guy. And I got a buddy here locally that graduated from Keller High School. He was a backup dancer for Vanilla Ice before he went to play football at OU, Oklahoma, and he was the kicker. And he was the kicker that hit the game-winning field goal to win the national championship for Barry Switzer back in the early 90s. And he said because back then kickers were only making like $150,000 a year in the NFL, he decided to go into medical sales. And he's kicking himself. He's like, because all I do is run out there and kick a damn football through an upright. And I probably could have been making, $1 million a year, but towards the end of my career. So
I don't know who said that because it just says LinkedIn user, but it says ladies like half a foot.
Ladies like half a foot.
We did so well today too, not going there at all.
All I'm doing is measurements, but I think this is half a foot, right?
Yeah, guys, look, we all get this. On a map, this equals 30 miles, right? We all understand this.
Right.
So,
ladies like half. I want to know who typed that.
It just says LinkedIn user.
Like half a foot. All right.
That's funny.
I'm going to be going to all the LinkedIn accounts that we had this on to see who posted that now because I'm curious.
Hold on, I might be able to tell you really quick. Nope, it doesn't come up quick. So, for me this week, I got a couple of podcast interviews that I'll be on, a couple of cool different shows, a couple of lives. And then this week in training, we have, am I teaching or you teaching, Kevin? I think you're up this week.
No, I'm off because I'm at Digital Summit. So you're teaching this week.
Right on.
That was Greg Roberts.
Oh, nice, Greg. So for me, I'm going to talk about client retention practices on Thursday for the members of Success Champions. Then we have freaking the Badass Business Summit coming up September 20th through the 23rd. If you have not got your tickets for that, you need to move fast and get those taken away and get squared away. If you haven't got your hotel for that, freaking get your hotel quickly.
And if people don't know, the best part of the summit this year and almost every year now is that it happens on my birthday. So forget the summit, come out and celebrate my birthday. We'll have some fun.
All right, Keith, when's your birthday?
September 22nd.
I was just trying to mute him in the middle of him talking. Damn it, I missed him. I muted myself.
I was like, except he muted himself.
Yeah, 100% did. So
That was awesome. Backfired.
Yeah, it did. So, well, you guys have a freaking phenomenal, badass week. If we can never do anything for you, let us know. If you have not visited one of the Success Champion peer groups, please go check it out and go see what we're doing. We are literally impacting and changing how the world networks as we speak. Otherwise, have a hell of a week. We'll catch you on the flip side. Love you, mean it. See you, bye.